Whenever you're ready.
Okay.
Oh, wait, hang on. Let me sound. It's the medium. Controls. Okay. Okay. Keyboard macro. Resume. Shift. Okay, cool. Alright, so, like I said, whenever you're ready. No, don't reset the default. I reset it to default. Okay, no, I did. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Ready, guys?
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Hey guys! Welcome back to another episode of the Foxy and Squid show. My name is Saki. Hi everyone. And right beside me is my friend Squiddy. Say hi, Squid. Say hi.
You know, when you're questioning your life and your relationships, the last thing you want to see in a supermarket are three pregnant women. Especially when one of them is a 5'7" ginger with long hair, freckles, and nice boobs.
Did you really
What the
just say?
hell? That is my life.
You actually just said that. Okay, so you guys are probably noticing something very different. For those of you that are listening to the audio on the W2M network, you won't probably notice it until you actually see the video. But I am actually playing the horror game Layers of Fear because I'm just too scaredy cat to play this by myself. Tried to do it by myself, didn't work. But I decided, well, hey, I have Squidzy. He's here with me for about an hour and 15 minutes. And I'd rather take advantage of that. So I did fix my technical difficulties. So you guys can still send in your requests for drawings on my Patreon. Or even in my, in my Twitter. So yeah. But that's the only difference today. Yeah. So we're going to start off with the first thing that I want to talk about, which is what recently happened on Sunday. Now, as we all know, Sunday was 9/11, was the 15th anniversary of 9/11. I got the number right. Please tell me I got the number right, because that would have not been
Yes, you
cool.
did get the number right.
Okay, cool. All right, good. So, 15 years. For those of you who saw that on my Twitter, I mentioned that 15 years ago we stood together. We're still trying to stand together today, but we feel, or rather I feel, that something in America cracked. Like the spirit of America cracked. And with that being said, though, it's hard to mention anything on that type of day. So we have what we call the NFL players kneeling down during the anthem, and that has created some form of controversy. As you guys all know, we started with Kaepernick, and now many athletes, not just NFL but others, are kneeling down. So come Sunday, and we have a bunch of games. Mind you, Sunday is is part of the opening week for the NFL, and a lot of players on that day were actually kneeling during the national anthem on September 11th. So, what does this mean? Does this mean that they're rather inconsiderate of what's going on? Or is their message really that powerful that they would want to take, not a national holiday, but a national remembrance day that hit us hard, and rather speak through the injustices of what's going on in America today, and remind people that we're still not in perfection. So Erik, I want to ask you, do you think that it was inconsiderate of the NFL players to do that, or do you think that they still have that right to go ahead and kneel during the anthem?
Well, I think that's really one of the rights that the country was founded on. The fact that we have the right to assemble, the right to protest, and that is what our country's been about. And touching on what you said a minute ago, I don't necessarily think the spirit of America cracked. I just think in times of tragedy, be it the first World Trade Center bombing in 93, Oklahoma City, 9/11 itself, all of these things going back generations, we come together, but it's brief.
I agree.
Then we
Yes.
go right back to being apart.
So then you're saying it's not cracked, but rather we just come together for a brief moment in time and move on to the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which I actually agree with you because the shootings in Orlando,
Mm-hmm.
the shootings in Sandy Hook,
Mm-hmm.
um, the shootings in the place in California, San Bernardino. I believe you. In those brief periods of time, we did come together, and it's again, I believe it. But the problem is that a lot of people are saying that the NFL players really weren't considerate. Now, I understand the right. Don't get me wrong. I understand that they have the right to do that. And like I said, if they're doing it for the right reasons and not doing it to get publicity,
Mm-hmm.
then they have every right to do that. But you're taking 9/11, a day that I believe, while we've had recent attacks quotations, um, on our soil since then, I believe that that is rather like, I guess you could say the pinnacle of terrorism and the alert on terrorism for America. I don't know about other countries, but for America, it's something
Mm-hmm.
that hits us home close to home. So
Mm-hmm.
when I see these athletes, I say to myself, well, I understand their message is important,
Mm-hmm.
but do they think that by still continuing the message the way that they were doing, which is by kneeling down and whatnot, do you think it's still right to continue that? Like, do you think it's just ignoring people's feelings now, or really standing up for it?
Well, I look at that two ways. One of them from personal experience. Number
Mhm.
one, I've mentioned this before, we've talked about this before. What other medium do they have
Mhm.
that wouldn't just get buried? What other opportunities they have to even continue and perpetuate this message other than what they're doing? That's just the nature of our coverage. Everything else gets buried in favor of some big headline. And number two, I know exactly where I was that day.
Mhm.
I could go into my memories of that day, how I felt getting up that morning, going to school, where I was in school, my
Mhm.
feelings afterwards, etc., etc. But after all these years, I have a lot of questions about that day that haven't been answered.
Right.
A lot of other people have those same questions. And I think because of those questions, a lot of people are looking at 9/11 differently. If this was the following year, if this was '02, or even I'll go out as far as 2006, and they did it then, I'd say, you know what? Time and place.
Mhm.
But the fact that everything that's happened, everything that's been talked about, not talked about, used, mentioned, politicized, all these things since that day, 15 years, which is half a generation,
Mhm.
mm, different perspective. You're opening a lot of doors, and to me, because those doors are ajar, I'm giving those athletes a pass on this one.
Okay. Okay. And then again, I think it's a very gray area. I don't think it's more of a black or white. And what I mean by that, it's like it's wrong for sure and it's right for sure. I think it's a very gray area because it's like you said, many people are actually, in fact, many people, society, in America's society, we are asking athletes to kind of step up and have us hear their voices.
Mm-hmm.
So
We
well, we're asking for it is
Yeah,
pretty
we
much we
want our
are.
athletes to start being political. This is what you're gonna get.
And by all means, they have every right to get political. In fact, if that's what they strongly believe and they give me a good reason for why they believe that, then by all means, go for it. I'm not going to stop you, and I hope you get your message across. However, um, I still think that we should be able to adapt. And what I mean by adapt is like that the athletes should adapt to how they send their message. And I'm going to give you the perfect example. Seattle. Did you see what Seattle did during the national anthem?
Among them and a couple of other teams with the locking of arms.
Yes.
Yes.
I think that for the occasion, for the 9/11 anniversary and whatnot, I think that that was a perfect way of representing the message and giving it giving the attention it deserves. I do agree. There's a lot of rats here. I do agree with what they did. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that that's an example that should be placed. Colin Kaepernick started the movement. Good for him. You know, it's starting to get across. It's starting to get national attention. But
Mm-hmm.
now that your message is starting to get heard and starting to get attention, let's adapt it. Because the best way to send out a message and start persuading people is when you kind of adapt your message to then communicate to different types of people. And I think what Seattle did was one is the best example of what the NFL players are doing. Like I said again, in that occasion where it involves 9/11 and it's a very sensitive topic, what Seattle did was perfect. What they had planned was a show of unity. At the same time, it showed that they were not in agreement with what's going on in the social injustice that our country has.
Well, honestly, I'm gonna have to disagree with you a little bit on that point.
Okay.
I think from the genesis of the message with Colin Kaepernick sitting down,
Mhm.
then after hearing about everything, after speaking with veterans, having NFL players who have served,
Mhm.
he listened to them, respected them, and he did adapt his message by taking a knee. And other players have somewhat followed suit. So the message has been adapted and it's out there. I
Mhm.
think that while Seattle did was wonderful, I think that instead of combining the messages, they sent out a separate one saying, for this day, unity and everything, and that's great.
Mhm.
I understand, I heard about all the plans, and I'm thinking that's wonderful for them.
Mhm.
And I think when you talk about adaptation, it's like, okay, you send out this message of unity. Now we need to unify these messages and saying, on this day, after this day,
Mhm.
we stood together as one, as a nation of 300 million. Let's not wait for another tragedy of any scale to bring us back to that again. Let us get this dialogue, let's get this change starting so that way these athletes won't have to kneel and we can all stand and lock arms.
Right. Well, again, it's a very gray area. I think we can
Mm-hmm.
agree on that, right?
Oh,
That
yes.
what they're doing is very gray, and
Mm-hmm.
it all depends on how on the audience and on the perception. I got a bone. I therefore just found out my artist used a paintbrush, his bone as a paintbrush. Congratulations, artist. He's very messed up in the head. Do not judge him. Um, but I do want to go ahead and move on a little bit from what was going on with the NFL into my favorite discussion, Hillary Clinton. You should know that there's a smile on my face.
Yeah, I could imagine in.
Eric, Squiddy, my friend, my boy, my friend.
Yes, yes.
Please tell me, you are defending this wonderful woman.
In this case, I am.
Why?
I'm actually a little bit mad at her for something.
Why? What? Tell me. Please tell me you're not gonna vote for her though.
No.
Okay,
And,
okay, okay,
and
cool.
and again, we talked about this hashtag what is Aleppo, but that's beside the point.
Maron, yeah, no, you're not gonna be happy with who I'm gonna choose my vote for, but continue. I'll mention it later.
Okay. Um, Given all of the things and all of the tremendous media exposure that Donald Trump has had,
Mhm.
saying, spouting whatever out of his mouth like verbal sewage
Yes.
day and night, and everything's getting covered.
Yes.
Hillary says one thing
Yes.
that, in essence, if you look at it, it's the truth. She may have fudged some of the numbers and the statistics. I get that. Not 100% on board with that. But the one phrase, that's your one phrase, but it actually makes sense.
Are you
Oh,
talking about the basket of deplorables?
yes.
Why?
Hope and change. Binders full of women. Now, with this election cycle, basket of deplorables. Okay, look at Breitbart. Your campaign CEO is the head of this quote unquote alt right blog talking about women and how issues with their periods, all kinds of sexist, racist,
Mhm.
xenophobic, misogynistic headlines.
Mhm.
He's your CEO. Roger Ailes, former head of a deplorable network, extremely conservative, and doesn't mince words about it in Fox News,
Mhm.
had his wallet hit for 20 million on a sexual harassment suit. You've got him working for your campaign. You've got someone that will blame a woman's suicide from the 1970s and will go back and stalk family members and wait outside their house and have the President of the United States have to go on television nationally to condemn you. And the campaign in 1992 have to send out 85,000 letters saying, for the love of God, do not give this man any money. You hire him as a vice campaign manager. You're collecting the scum of the earth, and you get pissed off because Hillary, for once, stops playing politician, stops writing all of her work from behind the scenes. It's going to help her get to the presidency and actually calls you out about it. And then she plays politician and takes it back. Sorry, you were going to get a point for that one, and she should have owned it.
So you are okay with what she said about the basket of deplorables?
Yes. Not, and I didn't even get into the different T-shirts for the things that they were saying.
But
I mean,
you,
are we really taking the electoral process to something that base? If so, I'm gonna write in for President Camacho from Idiocracy.
so you are mad at her. Let me just get this straight. You are mad at her because she said she just took that back.
Yes.
But let me ask you something. Does not Donald Trump own up to what he says?
And this is what I have warned people about. The one thing that I respect for him is he says and says whatever he thinks and feels. Why he became the Republican nominee is that people are sick and damn tired of politicians. He's not acting like one. I warned people. Yes, he says whatever he thinks and feels, but whatever he thinks and feels could be construed as clinically insane. You've been warned. I am not condoning any of what he said, even for going back to making a video after season 1 or 2 of The Apprentice saying he wanted to be a dictator. How he destroyed a football league and said that it was just going to be small potatoes because he didn't get what he wanted to have a backdoor into an NFL team. How he always thinks he's this big and bad, yet every single shred of evidence you hear, he is a loser outside of his own two-paid orangutan colored mind. But he owns up to it. She should have too.
I'm sorry. I think I have a dead wife trying to kill me. And I don't think I'm too happy about that. And I think I'm gonna get scared, like a jump scare now. Okay, no. Alright, cool. Cool. I have a maldeformed wife who does not like my guts because I treated her so poorly and I'm a drunken bastard. And
I
I
need to be a drunken bastard if I'm going to keep talking politics.
well, check this out. But I'm sorry. I'm not saying that she's not fit to run for president because when you're doing a job like that and when you're working literally 24 hours on trying to create a campaign and trying to make yourself representable politician wise, et cetera,
Mm-hmm.
when you're running a campaign, especially for the presidency, I can understand that it's quite a big job. It's a big job and it can take a lot out of you, especially a woman at her age.
Yeah.
However, she cannot say that she's always going to be she's having a heat stroke when number one she's wearing those horrid suits that look heavy, like even I was suffocating for her after I was seeing those suits, especially in New York weather, that if you've been to New York, I think we can agree that it's not pretty cool during September.
No.
And that you're there for an hour and 30 minutes when your job as a presidency, especially during that time, is that you stay until literally the very end of the ceremony, and then it's up to you whether you want to continue to stay longer or not.
Well, first of all, it wasn't necessarily heat stroke. Turns out she was diagnosed with pneumonia.
Which is where this point comes in, because when her managing team came out and said that it was a heat stroke, and then they came out with pneumonia, and that's fine. And there's a demonic child on the wall trying to kill a pony. Holy crap! And that's fine. Don't get me wrong. She's entitled to being sick and again being diagnosed with pneumonia. I'm not saying that should be against her, if you know what I mean. However, be honest with yourself and just come out and say it. Although then again, she's a politician. I don't know why I'm saying should, because it's never gonna happen. But if you're gonna be president, you're gonna either have to suck it up, or you make the excuse point blank and you celebrate in somewhere else that's cooler. But you don't stay there an hour and 30 minutes. Leave. Tell nobody where you're going. Take the attention away from the memorial to yourself. Come out 2 to 3 hours later from your daughter's apartment looking bien fresca and coming out pretty cute. No, I'm sorry.
But did she really take away from the memorial?
I think she did.
In my opinion, from everything I heard, she didn't. I only just found this out after the fact.
Well, were you paying attention during the memorial? Like, did you see it from it, or did you?
I'm gonna be straight up honest. No.
Okay, that's fine. You didn't need. I'm not saying you didn't need to, but it's not required. But you probably found out like after you probably changed the channel or something. And again, that's another thing. This was on a Sunday. Wasn't on the actual Tuesday. Remember that in the past, the 9/11 memorials have been during a weekday.
Well, that's because 9/11 more often than not has fallen on a weekday.
Right.
This time it fell on a Sunday.
But what are people doing on a Sunday at 9 o'clock in the morning? Going to church? Or getting ready?
Going to church, or sometimes going out to a parking lot, getting drunk and tailgating for a
Exactly. So, regardless of the fact, 9/11 was already being ignored, but with this in mind, she's there, and she does that, and I'm sorry, but she diverts the attention. People want to know where she went, especially if she's a presidential nominee.
And I maybe this is me, maybe because I'm a cynic, maybe it's because I'm jaded, but I just don't see it that way. And trust me, I would have known it would have been a whole big to-do on all the other shows and all this and that and all on the radio and blah blah blah, but it was just like, whatever. And I think again, because a lot of people have questions about with Hillary Clinton, with 9/11, with all that stuff in general, it's just like a gigantic so.
Okay, but
Also,
she's a presidential nominee,
hey,
Eric. She's a
hey,
presidential nominee. That is one of her duties. Being a
Saki,
president. Wait. No. Let me finish. Let me finish, Mr. Squid over there. All right. As the door just fell. As the president, in the Constitution, it states plainly that you are the symbol of America, not only for national but domestic, and therefore you are the symbol of the people and of America itself. And if you're celebrating a memorial that is an actuality of it's like probably the pure test of patriotism, or the pure sign of patriotism, that on that day almost 3,000 Americans died, and it was the first real big act of terror that we actually recognized in America. And you, as the president, must attend that ceremony to show that you are the people's symbol. You should not be there not only for 30 minutes, an hour and 30 minutes, but you should be there for a whole goddamn part, and then leave, and not come out 2 to 3 hours later, coming out fresca like you're all good. Because she came out all good. You tell me in that picture she didn't come out all good.
okay, I have a question for you.
Yes.
You say that the president is supposed to be that simple, so you
Yes.
want them to be at their best, doing all this and that, not making any excuses or anything health-wise, right?
Correct.
Do you realize if you were alive, then you would not have voted for Reagan for his second term? He was suffering from dementia.
And and you know what? I admit it. I wouldn't probably have voted for him if he was that ill and could not run the office and carry out his duties.
But people did.
But people did. People did. Yes.
Office. So again, tell me where anyone cares. And the reason why I say that, do you realize either Clinton or Hillary, with their age, would tie Reagan as the oldest president ever elected? People, this is what you're getting into. Get used to it. And honestly, I have my reasons of why Donald Trump hasn't released all of his health records, because who's to say that everything is going on 100% with him? Come on now.
But wait, Eric, I don't think you understand that I'm not holding her against the health thing. A president's gonna fall into health, and again, it's pneumonia. It's not like she was diagnosed with cancer. And I mean that in sincerity, like that she, I don't mean that as a joke or anything, but it doesn't mean that she was terminally ill or it's gonna affect her. I'm saying that after that happened, she came out like that.
Okay, and imagine all of the stuff you would have been hearing and all the ammunition for Donald Trump as he didn't. Hey, Herbert Walker puked on the Japanese Prime Minister in '89, if I remember correctly. He was still being made fun of that to today. Something like that in public sticks with you. I'm just saying.
Well. Anyways. Also in the news, Black Eyed Peas re-released one of their most famous songs called Where Is the Love, but this time it was a different set of lyrics. This time they actually featured events that are happening in today's world. Now, the song Where Is the Love was first released after 9/11, specifically. I think it was about a year or so after, if not very soon after. And I just want to comment on that it's a very good song, and I do like that the message is adaptable. Talking about adaptability here. Not only does it mention to speak out against injustices, but it also mentions that if you are a group, hashtag Black Lives Matter, I'm talking about you, that you should remember that it's all lives matter and not just one minority's. Holy shit.
Okay, but remember what I've said about your ideological extremists.
Yes, I do remember what you said, but I'm talking about the song specifically. I'm not gonna go into that because, frankly, we don't have the time, and it could be wait for another episode, and you guys can look back at the past episodes as well. Remember that they're on the W2M network as audio, and slowly but surely I am uploading videos because I have figured out a secret to life, and I really don't want to say it on air, but I've been uploading at work, so there you go. That's my secret.
Didn't you just...
I know, it was on purpose. It was on purpose. It was on purpose. Don't you know what? Don't question it, Eric. What have we learned from you questioning things? What have we learned from you questioning things?
Yeah, what have you learned when I ask certain questions about certain things?
We get the wonderful answers that you provide to us. How about that one? How about that one? Yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, so...
You know where I would be heading with that one.
Most likely, yes. Yes, quite so, my good man. Now, next topic on our wonderful list. This one's actually our favorite topic, Eric! Alright, I'm gonna be Brian Williams right now. I have my game paused so people can read the words. Alright, so on the night of December 26th, JonBenet Ramsey was reported kidnapped. Later, she was found dead in the makeshift wine cellar. And I lost my train of thought right there. Well, not really. I was actually reading from a paper, but there's just so much scribbles. But anyways, JonBenet Ramsey was reported kidnapped on December 26, 1996, and was later found dead in the makeshift wine cellar. Now, speculation was, from the very beginning, actually, towards the family, mother, father, and son. Now, however, 20 years later is the anniversary of the cold case. Even though the case is not closed or cold, technically, where they are still searching for the killer. Now, 20 years later, Dr. Phil McGraw, who you guys know from Dr. Phil on the ABC channel, was also...
he's in syndication. Different networks.
Well, for you it's syndication, for me it's ABC.
Well, no, for you locally it's ABC. For here in Jacksonville it's a local channel, but
okay.
It's just in syndication.
Okay. Well...
Check your local listings.
Yes, check them out. It's important that you check it out because yesterday, Monday, and today, as well as next week, he has been interviewing the one person that the police had stopped, well, not stopped, but was being protected from the media and from pretty much everybody by his parents, and it's Burke Ramsey, the brother to JonBenet Ramsey. Now...
Sweet baby McJeebus, is it September sweeps already? Hey, Dr. Phil, do you not have any more families you want to bring up with teenage girls or?
Well, Wednesday, there's going to be. Well, Wednesday there's going to be an episode of a 13-year-old girl who dresses provocative and wields a knife and steals cars. So you come in.
Let's go back to the crazy white folk. That's why I record and I watch you to begin with. Don't leave your wheelhouse, Dr. Phil. Don't leave your wheelhouse. Stay in your lane.
Oh my gosh. Well, I see that Eric has some unhappiness with him, which is fine. You know, you are entitled to your own opinion, Eric. I agree with you. He does go to the white folk a lot, but what do you expect from him?
That's why I say, that's why I watch. Dealing with isolated craziness like that, hey, that's something I can tune in, so that way I can laugh at all of their stereotypes. It gives me a fun little diversion. But when he tries to do stuff like this just to self-grandize and make himself important, yeah, sorry, no.
Okay. But back to the story of JonBenet Ramsey, who's been dead for 20 years. Yeah?
Exactly, yeah, Boxing Day, and this happened when I was 10.
Which,
I mean, really?
Well, I thought you were going to be a little older, but okay, cool.
December 26th,
What's the
1996.
post?
Remember,
I'm
I'm
supposed to-
30. So, 20th anniversary, December 26th, 2016.
You
Boxing
act
Day.
you act surprised that I actually know that. I don't know that. My apologies. That I actually don't know that. When you, above all people, should know that I am terrible at math,
This
not
is why I have to
numbers.
keep reminding you.
Okay, well you see, we remind each other. We got this. Anywho's, so 20 years later, brother gets interviewed, and there's a whole bunch of series going on in the ID channel, which is not surprising considering that well, you know, it's ID channel, investigation.
And it's pretty much, you got your new shows coming out, season premieres. Let's face it, the networks are desperate for ratings, especially cable networks.
Yes. So what I find interesting about this case is just the speculation that goes on with it. People said that it was the mother, people said it was the father, people said it was even the brother, and they still think that it was the brother. I think it's the brother plus the mother. The mother most likely staged everything in hopes of protecting her son because she felt that not felt, but I think she realized that her son probably did commit the murder. And she decided she already lost one, she's not going to lose the other, and she protected her son.
Okay, I'm gonna sum this up with this week's homework assignment.
Mhm.
Go online. It might be hard to find, especially for free, but I'm sure that there are probably ways. One of my favorite radio show hosts, Bubba the Love Sponge, one of his cast of characters, Ned.
Oh shit! That was good! Oh my god!
You all right there?
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. My burnt, dismembered wife, just killed me in my schizophrenic episode of the game. Continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, people. Oh boy, this would all make sense if I wasn't sober. Anyway, Bubba the Love Sponge, Ned. As a prank call, he called into the tip line way back in the day, right after it happened. I want you to find and listen to that bit. It is hilarious, and it sums up pretty much everything I could possibly say. Other than that, yawn.
Right. Sorry. I got spooked really bad. Like, really, really bad. I was waiting for it. This is why I couldn't do it myself. This is why I have Squidly! Squidly, my friend! I have you! For this very reason. Squidly.
Well, as long as you don't mind me and the fact that my feet have a sort of a farmer's tan, we're okay.
Right. So, next thing on our list is now pop culture. Actually, I'm actually gonna wait for that. I want to talk football with you. Remember, before we begin our football talk, rather, one for Erik's statistical football talk, remember that the W2M network also has a football show. Remember to check them out, the Football 5. Erik, I believe you know what exactly the times that they're on. Go ahead.
They're actually on when we record right before I'm on here, but they should be up every Wednesday, and you can also find past episodes on iTunes.
Yeah. So, specifically, because you know, guys, I'm a Dolphins fan, even though I know that we have no hopes of ever getting to the playoffs in quite a while, especially with Tannehill. Tannehill, you suck! Talk to me, Erik. Talk sweet nothings to me.
Well, what? Hey, that's a completely different, alright? That's a different show. Let's not cross the streams here, thank you very much. Anyway, but alas, I honestly can't entirely blame Tannehill for what happened. Yes, ifs and buts, candy and nuts, and blah blah blah, beer factories, strippers, whatever, but you go early on, you have a receiver wide open, in stills. You have one job. Catch the damn ball.
One job. You have one job.
You don't catch said ball. Look what happens. Now, granted, you fast forward into the fact that Tannehill, nor for that matter anybody on offense or the Dolphins sideline, saw that the last 12 seconds on the clock were running and running and running and ran
And
out.
keep running, running, and running, running.
Exactly. They ran out, so you don't even get off a play. You pretty much ruined what was an excellent defensive performance, and thankfully I haven't heard anything about Donald Kong Su and what happened with Russell Wilson's ankle, because I'm thinking that might have been a topic of conversation, but that just goes to show you, you're still the Dolphins.
You're still. It is so true. You're still the Dolphins.
12-10. You couldn't get one last stop. You even got the gift of a missed extra point. And all of that happens.
Disappointment, Dolphins. But then again, are we really that disappointed? Are we really that like disappointed in them, or are we just
No.
like, yeah, they lost, whatevs, you know?
You're used to it. And like I said, this is one of those to where you change the front office and miracles can happen. You just need to change the front office and possibly ownership.
But let me ask you something, Erik. Ryan Tannehill, how much chances can we give him?
As much as the front office allows. I mean, if Coach Gase decides to put in Dowdy, who is a better quarterback, if he was someone who actually spent his entire college career as a quarterback, I mean, yeah, you could try doing that, see what you get, but you risk throwing away the season anyways.
Because I keep hearing that, like, oh, Ryan Tannehill's good. You know, he's just not meant to be a quarterback. He's just meant to be what was it, a running back? Because he was a
Wide receiver.
wide receiver. Like, I'm sorry, people, but there's too many chances given. Too many. Too many.
Well, tell your general manager and your ownership. You bring in a new coach, he's only can do but so much. Top down.
I don't know, man. I think it's just. I'm just disappointed.
I'm telling you what the answer is, just like with the Cleveland Browns. And I said everything about how they were still going to be miserable and how RG3 was going to be screwed going into that organization because how they are with quarterbacks. Lo and behold, look what happened.
Johnny Manziel.
Actually, no. Post Johnny Manziel.
Ah.
RG3 got hit upside the head. Now he's out until at least week 10.
The baby head just fell off the body. The baby head, I repeat, the baby head has just fallen off the body. I repeat.
Now, if I knew that, since I know you're playing a game, I know this is legit. Otherwise, you would be doing some hardcore win talking right now.
Speaking of games, I have a story to tell because I got pissed over the weekend by trolls on Twitter about a game character who you guys all know that I love, and there's a baby in the wheelchair that wasn't there before.
And this is why you don't feed the trolls.
Right. Well, so I don't know if I mentioned to you guys earlier in the show, but I got my technical difficulties fixed. I moved from Photoshop to Manga Studio. Very happy about that. You know, I couldn't ask for anything more. In fact, I think it's a very good program. So for those of you artists that are looking to actually improve in your art style and whatnot and actually try to go the route of cartoons and et cetera, definitely check out Manga Studio. So I go ahead and I take advantage of Manga Studio, right? I go ahead and I draw my favorite character, called Aqua. Now, Erik, let me ask you something since you know me so well, right?
Okay.
You know very damn well that when it comes to my own creations, I do not do my greatest on.
Aside from the birthday squid.
Yes, you've seen my other creations, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and we can agree to disagree that they're not the best. I admit it, plain and simple.
Okay.
But you've seen also my other stuff, my other works, where I not copy, but rather I draw from what I see.
Yes.
A perfect example, the cherry blossom I showed you, the one that we actually did for 2 episodes. You remember?
Yes. I do.
Okay, that was made purely from my eye and took me not 1 week, but literally 4 weeks to do.
Mm-hmm.
In Photoshop, which again was not the best program in the world. So I do Aqua in the new program, and not only am I surprised at how well my outline came, which again, I posted the outline before I posted the final version, I think you saw, no?
Mm-hmm. That's typically what you do.
Right, to show the process. But I came out with the color. I was very surprised at the color. I didn't think the color would have come out right. I thought it was going to come out shitty. Excuse my French. But I thought it was going to come out bad. And when I found out that it didn't, and it actually came out good, I was like, oh my god, this is it. So I posted it. I tweeted it. And then I get a wonderful response from a troll. You copied. You shouldn't be tracing. You should not be tracing line by line. Moving on. I could read the exact words, but I choose not to because I'm rather upset about it still, even when I think about it.
Oh, keep feeding the troll.
Well,
I have
exactly.
some weird thoughts about the French now that you said that.
I figured you would. But anyways, needless to say, so I responded, well, hey, don't call me a tracer or copier because I worked very hard on it. And I think it deserves a little respect, especially when I worked very, very hard on it. Continues to say that I'm a copier, that I shouldn't be copying other people's work, yada, 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 yada. And, well, needless to say, we got into a heated argument, which he then called me a kid. Which, I don't know, 1995 is what, 2 years older than me? 3 years older than me? Erik?
Wait a minute. Yeah, wait, I'm thinking. 3 years.
3 years. Okay, so 3 years older than me. How am I a kid if you're not a kid yourself? Exactly. Exactly. Point proven. Point proven. So, this is...
I wonder if how the French feel that we use that expression to insult them.
Well,
I mean, technically, they've never done anything wrong. Great wine, champagne, food, beautiful women, great sex clubs. I mean, nothing personally against the French, except occasionally their rugby team sucks. But never mind, continue.
well, so that happens, right? And holy shit, nope, baby, nope, no, go away, baby, go away, oh my god, okay, the baby got up and it was not cool. Anyways, so I got upset because I not only was he like calling me out and shit, but his friend was too. And so I'm like, I'm not going to pay attention to anymore.
Trolls multiply and they attack in packs.
Well, there was two.
Operating procedure.
Well, there was two, but I said, you know what, no more. And so what did I ask you, Erik? Please tell the audience what I asked you.
Oh, well, you wanted me to see what they were talking about, help you out, and kind of come to your defense, and then figure out what else you should do?
And I ended up blocking them. But the reason I tell that story is for 2 reasons. The first reason is that, hey trolls, you can go F the up whatever and leave me the F alone because I don't give a crap what you say. I know that made no sense whatsoever, but I feel better after saying it. Yeah. Anyways. And number 2...
Not just for the nonsensical of what you said, but I want you to kind of think about that and replay that bit in your head.
I'll probably replay it in a bit. I'll probably replay it after like when I'm uploading it and whatever. But the second thing is Kingdom Hearts 2.8 trailer, the newest trailer that came out. What does this mean? I will tell you what this means. It means that there's going to be feels when I play that game, and I will play it. I will buy the PlayStation 4 just for that game, just for Final Fantasy 7, just for Final Fantasy 15, and just for Kingdom Hearts. Every single Kingdom Hearts game there is, just to play that game. I want to say that Aqua has now become officially, my favorite character, and I am so happy that I got my Kingdom Hearts Unchained Chi, which is the mobile app on your phone, working so I can go ahead and play and enjoy my Kingdom Hearts before the third and 2.8 comes out. Which, by the way, Unchained is a pretty good game. It's a pretty good game. I highly recommend that if you guys really can access the PlayStation first and you still want to find out like the whole beginning, because with Birth by Sleep, which is the one where Aqua is originally from, Kingdom Hearts Unchained Chi is really the first where it features the Keyblade War, where it actually leads you to the events of to Birth by Sleep. Because the timeline is, Birth by Sleep starts this journey of Sora and Riku. Unchained Chi is the beginning of it's like your questions are answered, like how did Kingdom Hearts exist? Why do Keyblades exist? Why is this happening? Where did this all, it's like the lore portion, which is good because I actually like games that go behind the lore and actually explain why the hell something's something. So Unchained Chi is really good. You can go ahead and get it on your iPhone. It's free, but with in-app purchases, of course. I have spent probably maybe over $100 already in that game. I am unashamed. I'm not ashamed. I'm very proud of it because all in the chance of getting awesome medals and such. But do not judge me. It's the same reason why I will get Poke Coins when I need Pokeballs in Pokemon Go.
See. Yet you wonder why I have shame when I talk about my incidences with Candy Crush. Okay?
But wait, Candy Crush is different! Candy Crush is different! You can always wait! You can always wait! There's no reason for you to continue to get add-ons. You can wait for it, Eric. You can wait.
Okay. I'm ashamed because I've spent far less money, and here you are, between the $100 on that app and you buying a PS4 for this specific reason. Care to kind of burn a timeout on all?
Well, let me rephrase that. I'm buying a PlayStation 4 not just for Kingdom Hearts, although it's a big reason.
But that's just what you said.
But I'm also buying it for other games too, like Final Fantasy 7, like Final Fantasy 15, like Final Fantasy World Explorers, although I think that's coming out on Vita, if I'm not mistaken. And more PlayStation games that I can play and also record, because as you know, I have a YouTube that focuses on gaming, and I do need to branch out not just from PC, but from others, you know? So I believe me when I say that the PlayStation 4 is going to be put to good use, not just for Kingdom Hearts, although I would love to play that game and then record it for everybody to see because I'm an awesome Kingdom Hearts player. Yes, I just said that. Fight me, bro. Fight me. Fight me.
Well, does the Crazy Horse still exist in Paris?
Is
that's the main thing I've been thinking about. Is it's like, that's one of the places I just need to visit before I die.
Well.
Anyways, moving on.
Moving on, yes. Moulin Rouge is also set to be put in Broadway production. I'm super excited for that because that is my favorite movie. Do you know what I do at work, Eric, other than upload videos that I should not be uploading? Well, it's not in that way. Not in that way. I mean for my YouTube. I mean for my YouTube, Eric.
Right. Um, I know you mentioned this before. You mostly listen to sports radio and other
Yes.
things like that.
Yes. So my time slot is from 10, which is when I start working, to about 1, which is when the Dan Levitar show ends. Yes, I watch Dan Levitar. You can tell Mr. Steven that I still love Dan Levitar and that he's better than Colin Cowherd. And in fact, are treating Joy Taylor like shit. Yes.
Okay, first of all,
That it's just a personal thing, Eric. Don't worry.
no, first of all, he's not better than Cowherd, and second of all,
Do not fight me, Eric. Do not fight me.
second
You don't
of
get the
all-
show. You don't get the show. You don't understand its potential.
No,
You
I
don't.
took the show personally, and guess what? I watched Highly Questionable right when it started. I also watched Speak for Yourself, and I'm thinking, yes, FS1 has the right to move up Speak for Yourself 1 hour from 6 p.m. Eastern to 5 p.m. Eastern on FS1. Check your cable listings for proper channel. So it can go up against 2 ESPN mainstays that I watched at the beginning, Around the Horn, which was a bit better with Max Kellerman in the disembodied voice, and PTI. Sorry, this would be a fight with.
But I'm not talking about the show Highly Questionable, even though I do agree that it's a little bit bland for my taste. I do like the radio show. The radio show is great. How could you not like it? You know what? I'm not going to have this discussion with you because I respect you, Eric. And I am not going to say anything except that Colin Cowherd, while he is a good person and a good broadcaster, I enjoy more Dan Le Batard and find that he is better. But, continuing on. Continuing on. After about 1 o'clock, I go ahead and listen to sappy love songs. Because why? I'm just lonely.
Well, you could spend that 2 hours listening to the last 2 hours of the herd and make you feel better, but
No!
hey, to each their own.
No! 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 I like listening to Phil Collins and Mana and Camila and a bunch of other sappy Spanish love songs that will only represent what I want in life but will never have. And yeah, this is how I spend my time at work.
You sounded like me for a second there. I was having a flashback to what goes through my mind whenever I hear the song "Hater" by Korn.
And
It's one of those to where that would be the soundtrack for the perfect moment in my life, but the logistics kind of forbid that from possibly ever happening unless a miracle occurs. So, yeah, I'm gonna shut up now.
Well, I can't wait for the Moulin Rouge Broadway. I think it was meant to be a Broadway show, in fact, just by how theatrical it is. Granted, there's a lot of special effects, but I think the special effects can be done without it for what the story is being portrayed.
Look at what they did with Warhorse on Broadway. You can put in special effects if you really wanna. Just different types of special effects.
Right. But like I said, I think the story is more beautiful than the visuals, although the visuals are so beautiful.
I'll say with some of them.
Yeah, with some of them. But the story and the soundtrack is in itself very good. And I think it's very good that they're going to Broadway with this story because if for those of you guys who have not seen the movie, I highly suggest you do. It's with Ewan McGregor and I believe her name is Nicole Kidman.
Yes.
And it's about a courtesan.
Ewan McGregor.
Yes, Ewan McGregor. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce Eric, just like I don't know how to count.
His name is spelled Ewing. There's no V.
Right. Anyway.
You say it like it's spelled.
Fine! Ewan! I don't mean to make fun of his name because I love that man. He is so fine.
I
But
mean, yeah, I thought he was awesome ever since he played in The Rogue Trader. Loved that movie.
well, you know he's gonna play as Lumiere in the new Beauty and the Beast movie, right? No,
Mm,
no.
I'm gonna shut up.
Well, have you seen the new style of Lumiere, by the way?
No, no,
Okay,
I have not.
it's interesting. It's interesting, needless to say. I wouldn't say it's the greatest, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Um, and Ewan, my man, does a very beautiful rendition of your song by Elton John, plus a different other amounts of songs, and yeah, and I'm really excited to see what they're gonna do in the Broadway version. I hope one day I can go to Broadway and actually see a play, but knowing how expensive it is it's just too expensive for my taste. But I definitely want to see what's gonna happen, and I wish the best of luck for the production itself.
Okay then.
Oh shit! That is a big ass baby with a very weird eye. And oh my god, demonic shit going on here.
I swear, this game must have some sort of baby fetish complex, whatever.
Listen, I think you're gonna need to be high on, not just on marijuana, but like a STD, not STD. What is it? LSD? I'm sorry, I don't know the language of my generation. I don't know the street slang. You can't judge me for it.
Then why not just call it acid and call it a day?
Cause I didn't know it was called acid.
Oh, it's only been called acid since the 70s. Come on now.
I'm sorry that I'm not cultured enough for your liking, Eric. I'm
That's
sorry.
why I gotta provide you an education.
An education. um, you remember Tupac, no?
Yes.
Were you alive for it when he was around?
Yes. I believe that incident in Las Vegas that also was coming up on the 20th anniversary if it didn't just pass
Uh huh.
thereabouts.
Yeah, well, it's 20th anniversary for Tupac Shakur. Those of you
Mm-hmm.
guys who know him, he was a big hip hop artist, hip hop or rap artist. I think you should tell the story only because you probably know more than I do, except
I
from.
wouldn't necessarily call. Now, see, for me, this is kind of tough because he really edified what was a big part of the East Coast, West Coast as the original rap.
Mhm.
But as it started blending into more of the hip hop, where you have more beats and stuff,
Mhm.
as you toward close the end of the 90s. But if you just hear his lyrics, I mean, changes, Dear Mama, I Get Around, or even some of his like lesser known stuff, dude could just tell a story.
Well,
That's
remember,
really.
from what I understand, towards his later career, when he had signed with Death Row Records, which was the last recording label he was recording
Oh,
with,
yeah.
they forced him to change a lot of his songs to the point where even his fans knew that he was just lost.
There was a lot of confusion, and I mean, even if you look at the ESPN 30 for 30 documentary, very, very well done. The connections between him and Mike Tyson when
Mhm.
Tyson was early on in his career, and also pay attention to the last picture ever taken of him.
Mhm.
You could really see with like the expression on his face
Mhm.
that he had an extremely clouded mind towards the end. Not clouded as like drug induced or anything, but just clouded as in a lot of different directions, a lot of things, and a lot about his life. And some of it he may have seen coming, he may not have. But I think that moment just riding down the street in Vegas, just a few blocks from where he was shot, that's you have to see it, but if you know the story, and especially if you're my age or even a little bit older, to where you could appreciate his early career, you'd understand.
Um, what was I gonna say about this? I was gonna say something very, very inspirational. Not inspirational, but I was gonna say something pretty good, pretty decent. Um, you mentioned he had a way of talking. Now, you said something about East Coast, West Coast. I wanted to actually discuss very briefly. Um, do you think that when Tupac and from the East Coast and who was from the West Coast, was it Big Diddy?
Mm-hmm.
It was
Biggie.
Biggie. There we go. Um, do you think that these two brought their street style to the music and entertainment world?
Yes. Well, that's what it was. And especially if you look at Ice Cube early career, Public Enemy, NWA, Two Live Crew, that's what you did. You told stories about what you were really going through in your life right then and there. And you conveyed it in the best way that people could understand. That was the whole genesis of it.
Alrighty then. So I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap up here. Um, what, I didn't even read what this was. This was a horsehair brush. Mm, why is this special though? Like why is the brush? Oh he I think he used his hair. Oh my god. Okay, this artist is freaky. But I can safely say that if we continue on the for the next episode, we may finish the game! Yay! I can get rid of this acid trippy game because it's really messed up.
Why?
It's scary. It's scary. Okay. It all deals with an artist who has schizophrenia, and it's his schizophrenia is so messed up. It's not even funny. Like he has a demented waifu who is burnt to a crisp, like a Krispy Kreme.
See, it's only scary because you're sober.
Yeah, probably. Um. Anyways, guys, so this ends our wonderful edition of the Foxy and Squid Show. Hopefully next week we can get to finish this game and probably start a new one. Maybe not. You never know. Also, be sure to remember to post out drawings. I am accepting requests. I want requests. I need requests. Please give me requests. Like, seriously, just give it to me. Mine.
Hey, that's what we're talking about, okay? Hey.
Anyways, guys, my name is Saki. You guys can follow me at Sakura_Steph309. Like always, you can check out my YouTube channel, Saki Sakura, which is where this video is posted. The audio is already live and posted on the W2M network. I'm not sure if it's already posted, but it will be posted whenever it's live, etc., etc. And be sure to check out W2M's other shows, one of them featuring our lovely Squid, the Football 5. And be sure to put a like and a subscribe on the video if you did.
Okay, you good?
Maybe.
Okay. Alright, if you want to hit me up, at Squid Sportshead on Twitter. Simple as that. You want to hear all this craziness that is the Football 5, at the Football 5 on Twitter. We got links up to past episodes that are going to be on iTunes, especially our 3-hour preview show, and I'm still sticking by what I said at the end. Forget any comments you may have heard about a dartboard. That's all I'm going to say about that. Got another show, cooking things up, and we got some interesting things for the off season. Inside @inside_arena for all the talk and news about the Arena Football League, including this week in the AFL. So, yeah, if you love the sound of my voice, there are 3 different avenues where you can partake.
Oh my god! Oh
can one up it, whatever it
No,
is.
I think I win. I think I win. Oh
Pretty
my
much
gosh.
accepted.
Oh, wait. I haven't received the message from Sean, so I don't know if he's ready to just finish before we can go ahead and do our finish. So
I
I'm
was
going.
just gonna hit stop on that, man. That would have been great.
Just do
See,
it.
you
Just to
ruined
end
it.
it with you laughing the entire time. That would have been great.
Just stop it. Oh my god.
See, I would have forgone doing my usual catchphrase if you could leave him out on a zinger. Way to go.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I just thought of the most horrific